The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Cowboys StoryLine. I'm Nick Eatman. It's Friday, November 22nd. One day away from the Cowboys traveling to Washington, D.C. area to take on Washington Commanders. Still doesn't sound right, but that's okay. That's what it is. That's what their name is, and they're ready. They're going to be ready to beat the Cowboys with the Dan Quinn-led Commanders. There's 10 guys over there, 5 players, 5 coaches that were with the Cowboys at some point in their career. I think 7 of those 10 were with the team last year. A lot of players. Remember, we saw that in free agency. Dorrance Armstrong was one. Tyler Biadasz. They're both playing well. Dante Fowler's playing amazing, 8.5 sacks this year. Noah Igbenogany is over there. Noah Brown, who was not with them, with the Cowboys last year, was with Houston. But Noah Brown, of course, he caught that Hail Mary touchdown against the Bears. But, yeah, and then they got like 5 coaches as well, including Dan Quinn. So it'll be a lot of familiar faces that we'll see over the weekend. We'll see how it affects that. Overall, their team is playing well. Their chance to go to the playoffs this year. Cowboys would love to play spoiler to that. See what happens. A lot of injuries, though. We'll talk about that during the show here. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. Our first caller is Aime in Napa, California. Aime, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Nick. Happy Friday to you. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Open my eyes today and looking forward for the weekend.
All right. That's all you can do, right?
Right. Hey, I just wanted to call in. You know, it's Friday. I wanted to make my prediction, but also I wanted to talk a little bit about the game and just say, like, I like that you started it off just, bringing up all of the ex-players from last year. It's definitely, with all the injuries we've had this year, it's like, where's our depth? Well, all of our depth is over at Washington right now, turning things around over there with Dan Quinn. So it's a little hurtful to watch, man, especially when those players went, and then just to see them how well they're doing now. But I think the Cowboys, there's one thing that they showed me these last few weeks, and the defense is played pretty scrappy. As thin as they are, as the injuries they've had from training camp on, they've played really well, I thought. At the beginning of the season, not so much the Cleveland game, but a couple of those middle stretch games where they were giving up a lot of the runs and not really setting the edges. I think they've bounced back from that and played really well. Have given, the Cowboys a chance, but unfortunately, the offense just has not been getting things going, whether Dak was in there, and then especially now with Cooper. I see things kind of playing out the same. I think, the Cowboys have a chance. Obviously, it's Sunday football. Everybody has a chance on Sundays. And I think that they need to attack the middle of the field a little more. They're trying to spread things out to the sidelines a little bit too much, and I think there's a lot of real estate in the middle of the field. Again, I think that they play the Redskins tough, man, and I think that it's going to come down to, maybe a final drive either by the Redskins, seeing if the Jaden Daniels could, put a game winner together, or if the Cowboys will be able to stop them one last time in the game. But my prediction for the game is 23-20. I hate to say this, but I'm a betting man, and I've started to go away from my heart and bet more with my mind and my eyes, and I think this is another one where it's going to be 23-20 Commanders.
Okay. All right. A lot of stuff there. Appreciate the call, Aime. I think, I'm watching highlights here of Cleveland winning this game against Pittsburgh, and those they've done it twice now this year. They beat the Ravens and they beat Pittsburgh. And I think it's an example of, these division games that anything can happen. Of course, hopefully it doesn't look as snowy in Washington as it did here in this game against Cleveland. But I just think it's another example about you get these division games. They kind of know each other. The personnel knows each other. They know the moves. And yes, you can say, well, this staff is different, and how do they know each other? But they do. These guys know how to go up against Terry McLaurin and vice versa, and all those kind of things. Guys that have been there for a little bit, and so it'll be I think it'll be a closer matchup than maybe people think, but. The Cowboys have to prove that. They have to prove that they can go do that, play that way, win early, put 4 quarters together. That's something they just haven't done. And sometimes it's the third quarter. Sometimes it's falling apart in the fourth quarter like we saw last game. There's been times where they've rallied back from a blowout in the fourth quarter and made it look close. Whatever it is, they haven't done 4 quarters of football. And that's what good teams do, and we know that the Cowboys aren't at that level right now. But that's what they're going to have to do and figure out a way, and it's not going to be easy because these injuries, they're getting guys back, but they're losing guys as well. Zach Martin's not going to play this week. Jake Ferguson's not going to play this week. And I don't know if Tyler Smith is going to be able to play, and that's tough when you're talking about both of your guards there. All right, let's go to Ronnie in New Jersey.
Hey, good morning, Nick.
What's up?
Nick, I had a comment. I was listening to the show the other day, and I forgot who the caller was, but he was definitely one of your favorites because you mentioned that this would be one of the guys that you would like, one of the callers that you would want to hang out with. Well, I just want to tell you one thing. You're the guy out of all the shows we will all want to hang out with.
Appreciate that.
You're
Let's go. Let's hang out.
Guy.
Yeah. Well,
you know what it is, Nick. You know how you could sometimes tell how the person is through the screen or who they are. You show your heart through your sleeves, like that phrase. You're one of those people that, like, you are who you are, and you're not afraid to hide it, and that's what I kind of appreciate about you, and I'm pretty sure that's what most of the callers appreciate about you too.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot. When I was growing up, and we'd watch, I'd watch different people on TV or whatever. You hear them a lot, and you kind of think like you know them, like I know that guy,
yeah.
And but it was like, wait, he doesn't know me, but like I feel like I know him because I know all his quirks.
Well, that's how you make everybody feel.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think.
Well, I
everybody,
appreciate
when
that.
they call the show, you make us feel like, hey, like this is the guy we could hang out with, and
right.
It's cool. You and Chris and a lot of people like that on the other shows too. But you're definitely the guy I wouldn't mind hanging out with, or I would enjoy hanging out with.
Well,
and Nate. Nate's another guy.
Yeah.
But
all right, Ronnie.
One question for you, Nick. If we have one game left, let's say to win, which game will you pick and why? And my game
pick
would
yours.
be Thanksgiving, just because I would like for all the Cowboys fans to, like, if we're going to enjoy at least one more game, one win, I want the Thanksgiving game so everybody, even the players, could get to enjoy that day and that game.
Ronnie, that's amazing. This is the second caller of the show. That's the theme of this show. That's the theme. I'm going to ask everybody that same question. It's a great question because people have different answers to that. Your pick is Thanksgiving?
I'm picking Thanksgiving.
I love it. I love that.
Everybody will have a great Thanksgiving that day. That's the game I want to watch.
All right. Appreciate the call, Ronnie. Good stuff. Now, he's from New Jersey, so he knows that they would be beating the Giants. He probably would like that. That may factor in, which is fine, too. That's part of it. All right. I love it. If the Cowboys, I don't like to say that, if they just win one, but at this point, just gotta win one. They've lost, 5 in a row? But if they were to win one game, just one, that you could just definitely, with a Sharpie, put a W by, which one would it be? All right. His pick is Thanksgiving against the Giants. I have some other thoughts here, but I'm gonna let it play out a little bit, see what some other people think. All right, let's go to Brian in Kansas City.
Good morning, sir.
What's up, Brian?
I'll just get that question out of the way right away. I always, and I'm an old guy, so I still think of them as the Redskins, but I always want to beat the Hogs, no matter what happens.
This week.
I always want to beat the Redskins, man.
So do you want this one or the last game of the season?
The only time I was ever mad about we won a game that cost us a whole lot in draft picks, and you'll know which game this is when I describe it, I don't, but Jason Witten had a game-winning touchdown on the last week of a season, and it dropped us like 11 draft picks.
11. That seems pretty high.
I don't remember, and maybe that's a little high, but it was such a dramatic drop, and I was like, really, just for catching one touchdown pass? And then we got, I'm like, oh. So I'd rather win this one. I'd love to just go up into their house and win one, and the quarterback being injured, maybe this is our chance. He's maybe not as mobile as he might normally be.
Okay, so you're going with Washington this week. All right, what else you got?
So, the thing I want to see, because I think the offense is going to struggle, the offensive line's struggling, and we're the backup quarterbacks are, I don't know who's playing, but I'm assuming Cooper Rush is playing until we hear otherwise. But I'd love to see that Marquise Bell is out now, right? That injury is going to keep him out the rest of the year?
Yes, he will go to IR, yes. Okay,
so I'd love to see Wanye Thomas and Luafau. That's what I want to see this week. I want to see what they've got, as we're moving forward, how they play, can they get in the game and how they play. It just seems like both of them have a lot of potential, and there's something there, and this is our opportunity to find out what they've got, And for my player this week, I'm going to pick a colorful guy that you'll definitely know. I don't know if you have a story about him, Alonzo Spellman.
Oh, my goodness.
There's got to be a story, right?
Yes, there's like
All
7.
Right. I'll hang up and listen, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, good stuff. Leofau, he needs to play better. In his last game, there was about 3 times in the game. It was like, what is he doing? What are you doing? And so it was early in the game. It felt like he thought the game started at 8, and it was like 7:20, and it was like he had a couple of rough moments early in the game. I thought Wanye Thomas, I'd like to see him play some. Yeah, I like his game. I'd like to see him play safety, maybe not catch passes on fake punts, but actually play safety. I think there's some spots for him. He's one of those players. He kind of reminds me of Donovan Wilson early in his career as well, where he was like, he's good, kind of reckless, get a little penalty here and there, but he plays with that style that can be good as well. All right, Alonzo Spellman stories. Yeah. Chris Beam and I always tell the same story because we saw it. I don't know how many people saw it, but we saw it. So this is the story I'm going to tell. Airplane story. And this happened. Okay, I'm going to tell you, this is how big this guy is. He's big. He's like 6'7". His arms were like somebody's like thighs. I mean, he's huge. And he was sitting in his seat. He was in front of us.
He was in the aisle.
In the aisle, and he opened. Yeah, he's not in the window, okay?
If it was in the window,
okay, he's in the aisle.
Really impressive.
He's in the aisle. He opened the compartment above him, okay? It opened. He got his bag, pulled it down, and then closed it.
Goes through it, puts it back in.
Yeah, puts the bag up, and then got up and closed it, and he never got off the ground. He never got off his seat. I don't know if he even took his seatbelt off. That happened. That's how tall and how long arms this guy does, okay? That's the story that I want to tell about that. Yeah, then we always would joke and say, and he did it from the window seat. Like, no, it was an aisle seat. But
so next time you're on a plane and you're sitting there, look up and say, can I close it?
Yeah, just imagine. The guy stands up and does it and slams his loud and all that. No. Yeah, he did that. I could do an Alonzo Spellman story every day. I mean, honestly, there's some. And the thing about it is, he was bipolar. And he had some issues there, and so these stories are kind of. I mean, they're kind of sad too in some ways because he was going through some stuff when he played here, but he was about the most intimidating guy. Like the whole get off the bus first guy. He's the captain of that. Like you just walk off the bus, you're like, oh my god, this team has this guy on it. Like we're gonna lose. Like he was mean, scary looking. But when he was playing, he was healthy and he was right. He was a good player. He was first round pick for the Bears, I believe. But yeah, that's the story I have for him. We'll see. What else we got? Robbie, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
What's up, Nick? What's the good word?
How are you?
I am awesome, like always, man.
You got one
my
win.
Kids and our,
You got one win. Which one is it going to be? Who are you picking? I mean, just one. One that you can. It doesn't mean they're only going to win one, but the one that you would guarantee would be a W. Who would it be?
The Giants.
This week, Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Giants Thanksgiving. See, I look at that like I think I can get that without the guarantee. You know, like I think we can get that one. And I wouldn't pick Carolina because I think we can get that one on our own. But
yeah, I think we get Carolina, no doubt. But if you're talking one I could just take and say we're going to win.
Yeah. You get the W.
Be against the Commanders.
Commanders this week. Okay.
This week, yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Okay, that's the game.
It's with Dan Quinn and all that stuff. Yeah.
Ronnie.
What game do I think we're winning? I think we're winning against the Giants, and I think we'll win against Carolina.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else.
Yeah. But I'm giving you a free guarantee. Yeah, you're gonna take the guarantee. Yeah, for sure. All right.
Okay, I'll take your guarantee.
Yeah. That's like saying you get to fly. You're in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Like you get to fly anywhere in the States, and you're like, I'm going to Orlando. Like you wouldn't do that,
no.
would you? Right.
No, I would not.
Right. All right. What's up, man?
All right, okay, so I assume you guys get close with a lot of the players, become friends with most of them, or some of them, I'd assume.
Friends is probably not the right word, but you get to know some of the players. Yeah, you travel with them. See them. Yeah, of course. Friends, no.
So besides Darren Woodson, who are your top 5? And can you give me a story about Billy Bates? Because he's always been my favorite player. Although I should like Randy White because I've met him, but Billy Bates he was the emphatical cowboy. You know, he just was never good enough to be the best, but.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I've done this show, do it every day, of course, and I know you guys don't listen every day. Some people do. I appreciate that. So when I tell a story,
I set an alarm every morning at 10:30.
I think, thank you. I feel sometimes I tell this story and I'm like I've already told it, so I apologize, but not everyone hears it every day. But I've said this that when I was 7 years old, my dad took me to the Cowboys-Rams playoff game in 1983, and I wore a homemade shirt that was printed out.
Number 40?
No, it just said, "Here comes the next Bill Bates." I was 7 years old.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And that was back when you could put banners on the side of of Texas Stadium. You could there was one called
you roll them over to the seats.
Yeah, up against the walls was one, but one we had said Bill Bates went swimming this morning. So my dad obviously loved Bill Bates, and because he was a rookie that year. It was a rookie, and he just was that type of guy. So we were living in.
Well, he still played when you were there covering the team, didn't he, for a year or two?
No. When I went to my first year covering the team at training camp, 1998 is when he retired. So I did not.
For some reason, I thought it was.
But I knew him as a coach.
91.
As a coach.
Oh, okay.
As a coach, I knew him there. And then, top 5. Let me come back from break on that. My 5 favorite players, like.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. I'll do that when we come back from break.
And then I'll listen to the rest offline. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Hey, Robbie's producing the show. I was like, take a break, do that. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna go to Zach in Atlanta. I got Zach in Atlanta. We'll go to him first before we go to break. Zach, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Nick? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, man. Hey, just want to shout out Cowboys Storyline, Cowboys Nation. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you're spending time with people you love, eating good food. Shout out to Randy yesterday. Loves the call. And I've had a tough week, too. Just stuff going on in my family. And so
well, good luck
the Cowboys as a team have not been a great escape, but it's just been great to, tune in and hear some familiar voices and see you, Nick, and Beam, and just appreciate all y'all do. Truly, it means a lot.
I appreciate it. It means a lot that you guys say that. Play the game for us. What? I don't know if you got a chance to hear it. You get one win.
No.
You get one win. This is Ronnie in New Jersey asked me the question, and I'm just going to ask all the callers today. It doesn't mean they're only going to win one, but if there was one that you could guarantee that, man, they will win this game. And that would be perfect. Who's the one? What's the game that you're picking?
I feel like the easy one is to go a divisional game. Maybe we catch the Commanders in one of these 2 matchups, or the Eagles. But I'm gonna think outside the box a little bit. I think the Bengals are just limping, and they're not very good. So
Monday Night
I think
Football.
we show up for that one. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean we have success against the AFC North, so why not?
I like it. It's true.
So yeah, but hey, quick question, and I'll let you answer and go to break. But we're playing the Commanders this week. Looking at who's played for both the Cowboys and Commanders, I've got 2 names for you, and they're both similar type of roles. One, Tashard Choice. I actually have a buddy who worked at Georgia Tech, and Tashard was a coach in the Georgia Tech room for a bit, and so they crossed paths. Said he was a great guy. I love the Marion Barber special, and just seeing some more behind the scenes. Seemed like a great interview. Great guy. Even the quote, he said, I didn't know my friend was old at the time, which is really a powerful statement. So any stories on Tashard Choice? Also, Alfred Morris. And so either of those 2 kind of rotational running back guys, I thought they did what they did well for us when they were here. So with that, I'll hang out. The Cowboys don't get the win this week, but they'll see the Commanders again. I think they get them next time.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for the call,
right.
Zach.
Take care.
Oh, man. Tashard Choice. I loved his YouTube video. You can find it. It's pretty awesome when he does a speech when he was a player at Georgia Tech. When we first, when he was first drafted, I remember we're searching things and it's like, oh, this YouTube video has got like 1 million views or something. And it had a lot of views way back then. And it was just a real powerful speech, that he gives to the team, and a lot of music behind it. It's pretty awesome. It just showed what kind of leader he was. And, he always wanted to be like a leader. You could tell he had it in him, but you're the third running back. And it's just tough when you're a third running back. That's the thing about leadership. You got to be a great player too, and also have the skills of what it takes to be a leader. And so you got to pull your weight too. And I'm not saying he wasn't, a good back, but so that's why he's doing what he's supposed to be doing right now as a coach. He's a really good coach too. He's at Texas right now. He's been outstanding. And then for Alfred Morris, Beam, I might need Beam to help me on this. Whoa, Chris, you there? Are you on the phone? He might be taking a caller right now.
Yeah, I'm here.
What, do you remember Alfred Morris's car that he drove?
Yes.
Or van or something? Or what?
It was
It didn't look like an NFL player.
No.
Was, okay.
It was a beater. Now the funny thing is like he had like, I want to say like super glued a Mercedes logo to it. Or something like that. Like as a joke.
He was a funny guy. Like he was kind of out there. Like he's a, I don't know about strange, but he was just I mean, the guy was making some really good, just free spirit
money,
guy. But he drove his car to camp, and you're like, whose car is this? It's like, oh, this is Alfred Morris. It's funny, But this guy saves his money. And Warwick Dunn was that way too, and he was a player that drove like the same car from college to like his first 6 years in the pros, just saving his money. They buy their mom a house and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool because we park at the same parking lot of these guys, when we fly out, and sometimes it can be dangerous if they're going too fast, but They don't drive cars like that. Okay, you can tell who's a player and who's not, and it's pretty easy to tell that. All right, let's go to break here. Cowboys Storyline. Come right back. Answer a lot more questions. Get more questions on this. If you had to beat one team, who would it be? Be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Lainey Wilson and a special guest will perform the Salvation Army's annual Red Kettle Kickoff halftime show this Thanksgiving on Fox. Cowboys against the Giants. Every donation stays in the community to provide and help for those in need. So tune in to watch the Cowboys and Giants. Lainey Wilson on Thanksgiving. Give today at SalvationArmyUSA.org. All right, back here on Cowboy Storyline. Our phone number is 888-855-2297. We've already got 5 calls. We're rolling along here. Speaking of rolling along, Carolina, lives in South Carolina, but he's a truck driver, right? You're on the move. You were in California a couple days ago when you called. Where are we today?
Abilene, Texas.
Abilene, Texas. You know, I'm going to be in Abilene, Texas in 2 days, and Wednesday, next week. I'm going to be in Abilene, Texas.
You know what's crazy? I'll be driving through Abilene, Texas next week.
All right. Well, if you go to a little town called Stamford, Texas, that's where I'll be. My wife's family's from there, so Stamford, Texas.
I'll make sure I beat the horn.
You're probably going to stay on the highway, though, I would imagine. Stay on the highway?
Yeah.
Right lane? Right lane, or are you one of those left lane guys that are just passing people?
I'm a right lane guy. I like to drive safe.
Are you driving right now?
Yes, I'm driving right now.
Hey, you can't see me, but I'm that little kid in the back of the car going like, honk, honk. So, I mean, that's me.
I always give them a honk.
Well, I don't hear it.
I don't leave them hanging.
I'm doing it.
Oh.
There we go. There we go. Love it. That's awesome. All right, Carolina, what we got?
All right, man. I got a couple things for you this week. Now, you said, who would I like to beat?
Yes.
And this should be the majority of everybody's answer. It got to be the Eagles.
Eagles. I knew you were going to say it. I knew somebody was going to say it.
The Eagles. I hate the Eagles. I got family members who love the Eagles, and I can't never get them out of my ear. When I go to my favorite bars, there's always a whole bunch of birds just flocking around and never being quiet.
Flocking around.
I hate the Eagles, man. I hate them, man. You're never going to say, any guy you can pick, it got to be them.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so.
Because that game will matter. It's second to last game. They won't. They'll be playing for something. I mean, they won't have the division locked up, and if they do, they'll be playing for some kind of seeding. So that game will matter. It's not like you're going to see Kenny Pickett playing quarterback for them. So yeah, if you're able to win that game, that would be good. I get it.
That would be great.
Great.
That would be great.
All right. What else you got?
All right. So, okay. First, I would say, if we're going to win this game, who is going to need to be on their best? 3 players that's going to have a breakout game. 3 players. Okay. And I'm about to pull a Nate today. I'm going to go 21-20 Cowboys.
21-20 Cowboys. All right.
Yes, sir.
And then who has to play? 3 players that have to play great. Got it.
All
right.
First to win.
Appreciate it, Nate. Thank you. That reminded me, I didn't forget on, was it Robbie or Zach? Can't remember, that said your 5 favorite players of all time. I'm working on that list too. I'm going to throw that list out. But let's do this one then. 3 guys that have to play well in this game. How about DaRon Bland? I know that's asking a lot. First game of the season, but he's been rested. Like he's ready. Like this foot injury, I'm like, it should be healed, good to go. And he's a playmaker that you can't just keep testing all the time because he can catch the ball. Now you got 2 of them out there. If Diggs can play, I know he's popped up on the injury report, but he should be fine. Having Diggs and Bland together, that combination, I like it. So I'm going to put DaRon Bland on that list. I should have asked him to make somebody on that list. How about God, it's got to be one of these linemen for sure. TJ Bass, I will say that. And I don't know if he's on the right side or the left side because Zach Martin's not going to play at right guard. Now, he could come in for him, but Tyler Smith may not play at left guard, and so Hoffman will maybe play. But TJ Bass, I think, is your first guard option. He's definitely going to play, if anything, for right guard. So I'm going to say TJ Bass. He's got to play well. He's got to play well with those big guys they've got in the middle. That's going to be another one. And then, I mean, this is obvious, but we haven't seen it really yet. But Cooper Rush has to play well. I mean, Cooper Rush has to play well. I mean, and it's not just get the ball out quick. It's he can't fumble the snap and get it knocked out of his hand or throw it too low. I mean, there was a play where there was a guy wide open for a first down, and he just throws it and he gets batted at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he has got to be good with his eyes. He's got to be good with his hands. He's got to catch the ball on the shotgun, and while he's looking downfield. I mean, he's got to make football plays. And so when he's out there, like, he's got to play well. They have no shot if their quarterback doesn't play a decent game. That might be stating the obvious. Bland, TJ Bass, and Cooper Rush. But if I'll throw another one out there, Schoonmaker, because Ferguson's not going to play. Did a nice job before. He's going to have to be that guy kind of down the field a little bit more. Schoonmaker needs to do that as well. All right. Let's go to William in West Virginia.
Nick, how we doing, sir?
Man, how are you?
Doing all right. Getting through your show is like it's easier to win the lottery than to crack the code to get through StoryLine, man. You're going to have to send me the secret sauce for the code or something, man.
Well, I appreciate it, but I would keep playing. I don't. Here's the problem: when you win the lottery, I think you get more than you do by being on the show. I mean, I don't know if that's a good comparison.
I don't know, man. That shirt's pretty sweet, man. I don't know, but I haven't won the lottery, so I'll have to say I'm pretty much I've won more on StoryLine than I have on the lottery.
Well, this is kind of we're in the scratch off category as well, but that's all right.
I appreciate it.
What do you got for us?
Well, I want to say wish you and your family happy Thanksgiving. Who knows when I'll get through again? I'll try as much as I can, but I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving. And my prediction is, or guarantee is, I think probably the game they'll probably get will be the last Washington game. It's more than likely, I would think, if Washington keeps playing the way they are, they'll have clinched a lot of stuff. And I'd say the Cowboys might have a few more injured players back by then. So I'd say they would, and they could hopefully have won a home game prior to that one. Maybe at least get one or two home games this year.
So your pick is what's your pick? Washington?
My pick is they'll win the last Washington game, not the upcoming one, but the last.
You're playing the game differently. You're predicting a win. I'm saying you get to pick the win. You get pick. Yes, any game.
The wins I would want. I want that Philadelphia game.
Okay.
Philadelphia, because there was nothing.
There we go.
Nothing more than going up there. Absolutely.
Now I think we're understanding the concept of the game. You get to beat anybody you want. Philly. I was kind of wondering why we hadn't gotten more Philly picks. Now we're coming along. All right.
I misunderstood the rules, but yeah, it's got to be the Philadelphia game. It'd be nothing greater than leaving them people up there and saying, "Ha
for sure."
Next year, eat you on that.
For sure.
I got one other plug thing before I know you get to another caller. Do you remember when you and Rob Phillips used to do a show called The Cooler?
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. That was fun.
Please tell me that you watched the show Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Dude, it's so good. I'm telling you. I'll talk to you another day about it. I'm telling you, I'm just glad you watched because, man.
Yeah.
What a show.
Especially because I was a huge fan of Karate Kid. And so and the way they did the show and the Easter eggs that they put in there, and if you're familiar with that term,
I am.
Yeah, and basically for those that don't, it just they hidden things. They might say something, a line that they're saying it for something else, but it was a famous line in this movie or whatever. And the Easter eggs that they throw out throughout the show, like if you know, it's basically what it is, and it's really cool when you figure them out, and it's really cool. Yeah.
The biggest regret I have from the show is that Chad McQueen didn't get to be on there because I wanted to see Dutch back on there so bad.
And he just passed away, right? He just passed away.
He did. He was going to be on the show this year. They finally worked out a way. Yeah, they had finally worked. I know. It's just like you got to be kidding me, man. But hey, I know you got to call us. But hey, you have a good Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you again. Go Cowboys.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. still rolling along here. I'm getting my list together on my favorite people, my favorite players of all time. And honestly, and this isn't a name drop thing, really. I really should go through my phone and be like, all right, these are the guys' numbers I have in my phone. And they're not a lot. I don't have a lot. And I've actually lost some numbers from my phone too, shockingly. But I had some, and I should go through there and be like, oh yeah, these are my guys. I got 3 down. I'm working on it a little bit. We'll do that after the last break here. Let's keep it going. Rick in Massachusetts. Rick, what's up?
Hey Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. A couple of things to answer your question. If I could pick one game that I would win, it would be just beating Philly in Philly.
Philly in Philly is starting to pick up steam here. Love it.
Yeah.
The
other thing is, after watching hearing some news of who's coming back and who might be out, and then watching that game last night, it's trying to sell some opium here.
Mm-hmm.
That a divisional game, Cowboys will beat the Commanders this weekend, and we'll just go from there. And I'd say 23-20. So let's hopefully we can get Deron Bland and Overshown and Parsons and to get them and to just to press it on Jalen Daniels and make mistakes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So you're right. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to stop making mistakes. That's what the article. Thanks for the call, Rick. That's what the column I wrote after the game. I mean, this team has no margin for error, but they have plenty of errors, and that's the thing. They when you're so shorthanded in talent now because of the injuries, they don't seem to be as prepared. I mean, I'm not just throwing out excuses of injuries. I mean, they're not as prepared. And some of that is because of the injuries. People say it all the time, like, well, why is there 12 men on the field? Or why do they have this? And you quick to blame the coaches. And I get that. But you also got to remember, when you are throwing players in and out of the lineup, you got a guy on the practice squad who's on scout team. Now this week he's playing in the game. And then the guy is injured and he's out. So now he's out on defense, but he's also the L5 position on special teams. So now he's replaced by this guy. But now this guy's back from injury. He's back. No, I'm clear now. Now he goes on the field because it's his turn to be on L5. But no one told this guy, oh, wait, you're back in now. It's 12. Get off the field. Like, it happens. It happens, and it's chaotic when you have a lot of young players and a lot of injuries, and it happens, okay? So I'm not blaming the coaches 100% on that, but yes, they there are 37 coaches, so I mean, there should be there should be a coach for that kind of stuff. Again, I'm giving a little bit of grace here, but yes, that stuff does happen. All right, let's go to break. Let's go to break. Be right back here to we got a couple more callers, and I'll give you this top 5 list of my favorite players of all time. Be right back.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
You can celebrate the holiday season at AT&T Stadium, get a tour of the home of the Dallas Cowboys, plus share a photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus from December the 10th through the 14th. Limited inventory is available. Secure your tickets today at attstadium.com/tours. All right, We do have another caller on the line, but I had a question earlier. Top 5 players, my favorite players of all time, not just the guys that were great players, but guys that I consider to be friends with. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it there are some. So I'll say this, my guys. I mean, Darren Woodson's my favorite. I mean, everyone knows that. If you've ever been to my office, you would see a big picture. I get to pick one picture. I picked Darren Woodson. I love it, and he signed it. He's awesome. Just in every way, just a really classy guy. He was so awesome as a player, and I've said it 1,000 times. He's just a better person than he is a player, and we all know what kind of player he was. My other guys on the list that I really like a lot, DeJuan Hawthorne. A lot of you guys maybe forget him. He's a cornerback, but he was a rookie in 1999 from Northern Illinois, and I was from Midwestern State, and here I am, and we just became friends. Like, I hope you make the team, man, and he did. He made the team, and he played 4 years. He was one of my guys. James Whalen. I love James Whalen. James Whalen and I became pretty good friends. He wore every number there is from 81, 83, 85. He had like 5 numbers that he wore, but he was a really, really good guy. Roy Williams, and it didn't always start out well. This is safety from Oklahoma. We went sideways a couple times, and I even had to hash it out on the field one time, but I think we got a better understanding, and it was good. And then we got to do a documentary with him, and he was so accommodating, just really, really awesome there. So I love, just being around him, and he was so appreciative. Now, and then I'll just say a tie, because of all these other guys that now that work here, so Nate Newton, Isaiah, Danny McCray, Barry Church, Jesse, all these guys, I'll just kind of put in one group because I've got to know them in a different way with them here. If I left someone out, I apologize there. Those are the guys that I remember a lot there. So that's kind of my list. I added some in there, but it really, really cool to get a chance to meet some of these guys here over the last few years. All right, let's go to Rob in Vegas. Rob, what's up, man?
Nick.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Great.
I'm good. I'm driving over to Utah, so I hope I don't lose you.
Oh, Rob in Utah.
Right? Going to go play in the rocks over there, do a little rock crawling.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there.
Oh, that's cool.
Talking about the game, I mean, I don't see us winning this one just because payback, you got the Dan Quinn factor. Their strength on the defensive line, our offensive line is beat up. I see a Washington 31-10 type win. Just because it's Washington. They're home.
Yeah.
They're going to kick the dog while it's down. Just too many things like that. You're talking about, who would you want to win?
Yeah.
Oh, easy. Philadelphia. It's always Philadelphia.
Okay.
I don't care about any other team. You can beat them, especially, they're your biggest rival now. And maybe you could affect their playoff chances. I was going to, ask you, what's your favorite piece of memorabilia that you have? It doesn't have to be football. I'm not a big memorabilia guy, but I picked up a Tony Romo college jersey when I was at a New Jersey swap meet, and I saw it hanging there, and I'm like, is that for real? So that's one of my favorite ones just because it's different.
Yeah, that is cool. I don't have a lot of Cowboys stuff like that because I've given it to friends and families and stuff like that over the years, so I don't have a ton of things like that. I'm trying to think about in my office, like the stuff that I have. I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff like that. I did come across something from my garage that I took up here to work because I'm not proud to admit this, but I stole it from, I don't know, is it stealing from the Pro Football Hall of Fame? I took one of the pylons. One of the orange pylons from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They didn't need it. The game was over.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
And they didn't need it till next year. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's stealing. I just haven't given it back yet. I haven't given it back yet. We haven't gone back yet.
Another thing, all the storyliners were planning getting like an Airbnb in the summer in Oxnard.
Dude, that sounds like a party right there, man.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to do it. We're just figuring out where, and the dates. Everybody get on board with the dates, and I think the Airbnb would work better since we could all hang out together, and it's also probably cheaper to do it that way. So that's the plan. We're going to do that this training camp.
Woo! Yeah, well, Chris and I will get creative on what we do with a podcast. Maybe we'll do a podcast from the Airbnb, but
that would be awesome.
Maybe not. We'll see. It sounds like some late night partying going on there, but no, we'll figure out a way to get everybody on the shows and have a cool round table or something like that. That sounds awesome.
We'll definitely keep you updated. But Irene and Dylan, Travis, I know they're looking into. I think Travis maybe already sent some pictures of some nice places, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. That'll be cool. What'll happen is that thing will pick up steam. You'll have more people wanting to jump in, and then the price will keep going down. Now, people sleeping on the floors and stuff. But I mean, it might be one of those. Hey, come one, come all. Sounds fun. All right.
BYOB.
Nice. All right. Sounds good. All right, Rob. Appreciate the call. Rob in Utah. Just kidding. He's headed to Utah. It's always going to be Rob in Vegas. Was that our last call? No, one more. Sorry. Zach in Germany.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Good, man. What's up?
Just two questions for you today. I know the show's closing up. We are currently sitting with the top 10 pick, and wanted to get your opinion on that. If you were making that pick, I'll give you a couple positions and just see which one you'd be interested in taking. So if you have a top 10 pick, you have quarterback, I'll say skill position player. That could be wide receiver or running back, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, or defensive back. If you're on the clock with our current pick, which I think is either 6 or 8, what selection would you make?
Man, here's the thing, and I'm not trying to get out of the question, but there's 24 players on this team that are unrestricted free agents. I mean, there's a lot going to happen here. So I'll answer the question here in a second. Is that your last call? Is that it? Is it your last question? Do you have another one?
No. Yeah, in conjunction, do you see I would say the last 2 drafts have not been to the Cowboys standard. We usually draft fairly well. We haven't drafted well the last 2 years. Do you see a philosophical change with our approach to free agency maybe this year, since we're, normally we kind of day 2, 3, week 2, week 3, pick up a guy. Do you see any change to that philosophy? Maybe a little bit more versatile in approach to that.
I'd like to see a change in the second-round pick. I think your second-round pick has to be a guy that can play right now, not one of those trying to steal value and, this guy was hurt last year or he's got a lot of off-the-field issues and maybe he'll clean it up here and maybe we can get first-round talent with the second-rounder. No, I'd like to see that second round being a solid player, another guy that can come right in ready to play right now because if you're not doing a lot in free agency, you can't afford your second-round pick to not be that way. And I think too many times that they get a little too risky with that second-round pick. So that's the philosophy change I'd like to see. Zach, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You have to finish our game here. You get one win for the rest of the season. You can guarantee a win. Who would it be? It's not predicted.
I'll say Philly.
You get to pick. All right, Philly.
Yeah,
Philly.
The reason I say Philly only if we can, in some capacity, try to drop their seeding or knock them out.
Right. All right. Sounds good. And I'll answer. Thanks for the call, Zach. I'll answer that part too about the position. I mean, again, there's a lot there, but I don't think that it is a little early to say that they've missed on the 2. Mozzie Smith, it's not been a great draft pick. I mean, for first round, not yet at least. So that's been 2 seasons. He hasn't contributed a lot. He's playing now. He's starting. He's doing some, but not to the point of what you would expect. And then Guyton was a project player. We knew that, and he's had to play a lot here on the left side. He's been dealing with injuries. It's been a challenge for him. I'm not giving up on him at all. I could promise you this: he was good, but nobody saw Hall of Fame Tyron Smith his first year. No one saw that. So he went from the right tackle to the left side. He got much better. So I'm just saying, let's give these guys a chance. We knew he was going to be a project player. He's got to figure some things out. I'm way too early to say that wasn't a good pick. But that being said, if you picked another lineman in the first 10, at the top 10, if you got another lineman, it was a tackle, it was a guard, I'd be fine with that because I think those guys make everybody else better. I'd be fine if they did that. I don't really need a receiver or running back at that point, at that spot. I think your lineman, that's where the big drop-off is. Give me a lineman in that top 10, I'd be fine with that for sure. All right, Great show. Great. I appreciate Ronnie from New Jersey kind of setting it up with a great question. I thought would be great for everyone to answer, and it did. And to tally it up, they came on strong here. I think the last 5 picks were all Philly, and I'm going to say the same thing. If you had to pick one game, if you knew he was going to win, why not go up to Philly and win? It's always good there. You got to deal with all the crap, the city, all the fans and all that. Might as well walk out of there with the win. So they got 6 votes, including mine. Washington this week got 2. Cincinnati, Thanksgiving got 2 as well, and then the Bengals got 1 also. So the Cowboys' hatred for Philly, undefeated. All right, guys, great show, great week. Appreciate it. Let's see what happens this weekend. Cowboys go to Washington. We'll talk about it for sure on Monday when we get back. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you next time on Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!